Good night, good night. Just going home from work earlier than usual. I need to stop really staying late. But wanted to make a quick video. I don't really have any clear thought, but we'll talk a little bit more about finances. One thing I did recently, I got a bonus from my night job. It was probably about the same amount as a check for me from my night job. So every 2 weeks I get about $1,700 or so from that job. So took that whole thing and a little bit more actually, and carved out about $2,000 out of the check, and then of course a little bit out of the check, and then the entire bonus, and then put $1,000 in savings, $600 towards M1 Finance that I'll split across my portfolios. Bought 5 ounces worth of silver, which is about $100 or so. Silver has actually gone down with all this market turmoil that we're going through, and I'm kind of giddy about that right now too. And then also probably going to do did 300 or so in crypto. 157 to in terms of breakdown, M1 Finance, about 300 to the main to the Roth IRA portfolio. 150 to the each one of the other portfolios. So and then also in terms of cryptos, out of the 300 I put towards it, I put 157 towards XRP and 157 towards BTC. With that being said, just say, hey, listen, just saying to myself, hey, any extra money, let's try and put towards investments instead of trying to tuck it away and save it, or just save it, or save it to buy something, things like that. Let's put it away to other things that can actually make improvements in our lives and be there for us later on in our MGTOW life. So one big thing is I actually started, and I never made a video about this, but I actually invested into M1 Finance, I believe last week, either early this week or last week, I forgot when exactly, but I did my initial investment to M1 Finance. I put $100 into my passive income portfolio, my metals, mining, and energy portfolio. $100 into that, and those are the minimums for those. And then for the Roth IRA, you have to open up with a minimum of $500, and I did that. So that was all before I just made these recent deposits of about $600. While this market is going crazy, I made those deposits for the $600 this morning. Now again, those portfolios are down. And that's just simply because that's what the market we're in. Everything's just going down. My bonds are actually doing fairly well, as they should. So they're acting within, they're acting as expected. So that's nice. Looking to actually dollar cost average into this. So kind of chasing this money down, or chasing this falling knife, if you will. Not trying to really catch it, but chasing it a little bit. So as the market's going down, I want a piece of it just in case it actually turns up, and then at least I know I didn't wait for say that bottom or anything like that, or timing a bottom, which you don't really have to time it. You just look at the charts and then you'll see what's trading sideways. But since I invest in M1 Finance and I do whole portfolios, and I don't have say one stock that I'm actually buying, it's better in my case to actually dollar cost average in. I also like that. I think that works out well for me, or well enough for me, I should say. So, wow, I got a game on tonight. So I'm doing that, and I'm actually really happy about it, even with everything that's going on. It's one of those things where mentally I've been preparing myself for something like this, waiting for something like this to happen. And I'm really, really happy that it is happening. I mean, you're seeing companies like Tesla drop $100 in one freaking day, and that's crazy. I mean, you're looking at major price correction, or possibly major price corrections coming along. The only thing that is kind of weird, but I'm still happy about it, is that silver is still it actually has gone down, which is kind of weird, but it may not be. The explanation of that could be because of the fact that silver is something that is used in so many different actual what's it called, manufacturing processes and things like that. And with manufacturing going down, there's a low demand for it. So that's possible that, you know, the whole issue with China, or issues in China, is causing this. So that's kind of the only way I can think of explaining it, possibly. But I am really happy. Let me just back in here because I got some shit I got to take out. Sorry. But I'm really happy with what the market is doing right now. It's kind of falling in line with my thought process going forward. I am not a day trader or anything like that. So I don't do... I actually don't have to be so much of a day trader for this, but I don't do, you know, the short... I don't do shorting of stocks. Is probably the best way to say it. So I don't do the shorting of stocks, so it would be good, though, to short in this market because everything is just kind of going down. And that's just kind of like my my little bit of knowledge about shorting and what it means, or what you're doing in that process. So it might be a good time to like actually start shorting stocks because everything's pretty much just going down. Like, you know, it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be rocket science, I would assume. But I don't know too well, so don't listen to me on that. So I'm really happy about that, and other things are kind of falling into place. I'm just trying to work the plan, just chill and trust the plan, the process, doing more coding and things like that. Just kind of wanted to give a quick update on things that are happening and looking at this market and how anyone could actually get in at this time while these or wait to get in at this around this time. When things start to settle and start trading sideways, when you start to see, hey, listen, you know, one or two things that you have out there or stocks that you're looking at, they're starting to correct, they're coming down. You can really start gobbling up a lot of these stocks. You know, some AT&T, some ETFs like Noble, NOBL. You know, even the S&P 500. You know, whichever one you want. You know, from various different investing firms. So I'm just looking at all of this and it's like, oh my gosh. And then one guy, he made a comment on another video that I was watching, a Joseph Carson video, and he's like, man, listen, you just got to be robotic in your thought even during all of this, and not so much just robotic in terms of the horror and the fear of what this market is producing for some people, but robotic in the thought of like, okay, don't get overexcited, chill out, still make smart moves, still make smart decisions. Because I'm like, yo, I'm just going to throw it all in right now. But it's like, no, if I just wait, I could throw it in and get more bang for my buck. And that's one mistake, in a sense, that I made with cryptocurrencies during the 2017 to 2018, December 2017 to January 2018, that time. If I was a little bit more in terms of experience, in terms of you know, going through those things and understanding what could happen on the other side of it if I don't do this or do that. And then also making the proper picks and corrections and understanding what speculation is and how it can affect you on, you know, when it goes down. So, you know, that was an expensive lesson, but a lesson nonetheless. And I'm coming into this experience or this time right now with the market, and I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I got to keep cash on reserve. I can't go balls deep. You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, just the tip. Just the tip. You know, so it's kind of funny to be like, just the tip. Buy the dip. Okay. Sometimes I write songs. But hopefully this will work out. We'll see how it goes. And I'll just be watching it and sticking to my guns and looking at my portfolio and making changes where necessary, if at all, really. I was really glad. I'm glad that I didn't really get into the financial, didn't follow Joseph Carson's portfolio to the T, and I got out of some of the financials. I got out of some of the energy on there. I got into the energy in my own little portfolio, but in a different way. And also taking suggestions from others that I've talked to in terms of stock tips and things like that, and ETFs, and looking at it and be like, wow, okay, this is really nice. These are things that I think will do well. Um, I'm trying to work on generating a more fleshed out theses of investing in what I'm investing in right now. It's a bit of not a test, but so much as in seeing putting together some of the advice that I've been given in the past through various YouTube videos over the years, not just now, but over the years, and saying, okay, I think this is a good move and this is why, you know, as far as like gold stocks and things like that, and getting into miners and such. Seeing how that would flesh out. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff that would be considered an echo chamber, so I probably am definitely flawed on that thought process of getting those things, but I want to see how it all works out, and it gives me more of a it gives me more motivation to actually want to test out some of these theories and do more research when I can. So yeah, definitely really cool stuff. So yeah. Anyways, as always, thanks for listening, and appreciate you. Peace.